How's it going, everyone? Today I wanted to talk about a little toy that you can get for your Saab 9-3 that'll just blow your mind. It's really cool what this thing can do. Go ahead and show it to you here. It's just this tiny little thing right here called the eSID2. And basically, when you plug it into your OBD2 port, you can learn and know a ton more information about your car. I bought this actually at SOC 2018, which was back in August, so I've been using it on the Turbo X for the past 4 months or so, and in that time I have really, I've loved it. It's really easy to plug in, it's super easy to use, so really, literally all you do is go in your car, your 9.3, find the OBD2 port down here, and plug it in, and you're ready to go. Now, before I start the car up and we start looking through all the settings and everything, I do want to say that there are actually 2 different versions of the eSID. There's the eSID2, which is this one. This is for 2007 and newer cars, and that's because in 2007 they of course updated the interior and a bunch of other stuff in the car, so that's why this only works with 2007 and up cars, and there's an 03 to 06 version as well. I'll also go ahead and mention the price. You can get these new for about $190. It's just a fun little quirky thing that you can do for your car, and you know, I don't know, I like it. So anyways, let's go ahead and start it up. So to start using your eSID, what you do is you hold down your clear button right here on the steering wheel, and it pops up with this, and give it a second. Now that I've got it plugged in, I'm actually gonna restart the car because it should come up with a nice little message when I start it. There we go. Iconic to many, lived by a select few. So, you have a ton, just a ton of different settings. Okay, I get it, I know. You just have a ton of different settings that you can go through. So just to go to the main menu, I literally just unplugged it to film this intro, so a lot of it's going to be missing. All the things are probably going to say 0 because I just unplugged it, which of course resets it. But distance, you can of course change this between metric and US. So when you buy it, it's probably going to be in metric, and you can just change it over in the settings. So I'm just going to go through every menu here so that way you guys can see just the variety of information that you can get by using the eSID. And then I'll take it out for a drive to show you guys some of the more like live action type of stuff. So distance, your outside temperature, time, battery voltage, crank voltage, tire pressure, which for some reason mine doesn't read tire pressure. I'm not sure why. If anyone knows why, please let me know, because that'd be nice to have. And you can also test your acceleration with this. So if we push the start, you can say, do I want to do 0 to 100, 5 to 60, 0 to 60, quarter mile, eighth mile, whatever you want to do. I mean, there's just so many different ranges that you can time through here. So instead of using it on your phone, you can make sure that you're completely accurate and the car will read the speed of the car instead of you filming a video and trying to guess and line up a timer. So it's pretty cool. I've only used that once or twice actually, and I didn't get the best results, but then again, that was on a hot day when the car was still pretty much stock, so maybe I'll have to try it again. Not in this video though. After that, you've got your drive time, which just tells you how long the car has been running for, how long you've been driving for, distance again. So now we're back to the start. So that's under the vehicle menu. You go ahead and go to transmission. It should tell you your gearbox oil temp. I'm not sure why mine, actually, you know, that might be because that might be for automatic cars, not stick cars. So that's my guess on that one. The cross-wheel drive clutch temp, not something that you'd really ever need to know, but I mean, sure, it's cool to have, I guess. The cross-wheel drive oil temp again. These two I've noticed run at pretty much the exact same temperature at all times. Now we're under engine, which is the fun one. And of course, to switch through all these menus, you're just gonna use these buttons here and then the OK button to select it. So my fuel rate per hour, not very useful, honestly. If you do have flex fuel on your car, if you are running E85, it'll tell you how much you have. And I think that is really cool. So for you guys out there that are either run E85 or want to, this is definitely something that can help you out and tell you exactly how much E85 you have in your tank. So air mass, this is one of the ones that I'll get into when I'm driving. Same with intake air temp, which I've noticed, of course, when I'm driving on the freeway, it stays relatively low, but as I'm sitting here idling, or if I'm in traffic, it really starts to climb up. So it's kind of cool to see how, given how you're driving, how that changes. You also have your turbo pressure, engine coolant, which this helps you tell when your engine's up to temperature, really. So once it gets up to about 170, 180 is really when I can tell that the engine's up to temperature. It's pretty cool. Max horsepower, so I guess I made 26 horsepower while idling there, so pretty good, right? Yeah, pretty good. Max torque, I made 139 foot-pounds of torque. Now, I do have a complaint about this. The max torque and the max horsepower I do have to complain about, because after I got my Maptun Stage 2, and after I did my exhaust and intercooler, I used this to kind of gauge the gains that I had from the tune and all that, and really, this completely shortchanged me compared to when I took it to the dyno. So just to give a quick rerun for those who don't remember, which you probably don't remember, this car made about 320 horsepower at the crank and 375-ish foot-pounds of torque at the crank, given what the dyno number said, which I'm much more inclined to believe those numbers than these. And according to this, I only made about, or I can only make about 291 horsepower, and I think it's about 330 foot-pounds of torque. So it really shortchanged me here. So I'm a little bit disappointed in that, but I think maybe that might have to do with it being cross-wheel drive. It might measure it differently and it's not as accurate, or it shortchanges me for some reason. I really don't know. Maybe someone else does, but I just wanted to include that in there, that it might shortchange you on your power and torque numbers. And of course you have your live torque, so pretty cool. Your RPM, torque, horsepower. I'll also tell you your speed. That's something else I'll go through in the live part. How much fuel I've used sitting here. So I've used 1/10 of a gallon just sitting here for the last 9 minutes talking to you guys. Your average fuel economy, it's not going to show anything, of course, because I haven't driven it since I plugged it back in. And then we're back at the start again. So then you've got, you do have 5 favorites that you can set. And I like this. I haven't messed with this at all, but basically your 5 favorites allow the 5 things that you want to show up right on kind of the home menu, I guess, instead of having to go into engine and then scroll through and find turbo pressure. So I haven't messed with these. Turbo pressure, torque, it's just all going to be the same stuff that you guys have already seen. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Then of course you have your eSID settings, which you can change as, you know, when the car's not running. I do want to mention that you can change things like the startup message, which I personally like the one that comes with, but you can change it if you'd like. There's a few different options. There's a handful of other things in here, so see how I can, you know, change my language, set my clock, my wiper stuff, auto start, my units, just, you know, just same stuff. PSI instead of bar, foot-pounds instead of Newton meters. Welcome message, and you can change it, of course. There's just a lot of, oh wait, what's this? Engine auto. Oh. Well, hold up now. Engine. My engine is not the B207. B284. Nope. Nope. Okay. I did not know this existed right here. B284. There we go. Settings saved. So I guess you can change actually a lot of the settings when the car is running. So I apologize for that. I lied. And the other menu, of course, with it plugging into the OBD2 scanner, you of course have Diagnostics as well, which of course it functions just like a normal OBD2. Of course I don't have a check engine light, so it's not going to tell me anything. But if you do have a check engine light and you have an eSID2, of course it functions just like a normal OBD2 scanner. You got to make sure the car is in the on position but not running, and then, you know, it'll tell you what's wrong with your car. And it'll probably give you much more detail than your standard off-the-shelf OBD2 will. So with that being said, you know, just a couple other things here. I'm gonna get the car out on the road. I actually have driven this car like once in the last 5 days, so I'm kind of excited. So we're gonna go back to the engine and see some of these live settings, and then I'm gonna try and drive and film at the same time. I'm not gonna be stupid about it, so let's go, because I want to drive this car. Oh, I can smell the exhaust from sitting here for 10 minutes. You guys better be thankful for me because I'm filming while it's raining, which means I'm gonna have to wash the car again before the meet on Saturday, which when you're watching this is today. So be thankful, appreciate me. Give this video a thumbs up because now I gotta spend time washing the car again. The other cool thing I've noticed is that it'll tell you what your max is in parentheses right there, which is pretty cool. So I'm just gonna get on it here for a second. You're gonna see this number jump up pretty quickly. So 187 is actually pretty poor. I think the other day it was up to like 240, 230, so 187 is not very good. Let me just put it that way. But you can see the number it doesn't lag behind. That's one thing that I really like with this stuff is that, or with the eSID, is that you don't get on the gas and then wait a second and then the number moves. It's like instantaneous. Turbo pressure. You can see how that fluctuates. Engine coolant, of course, now it's up to 181 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's up to operating temperature as indicated by the temperature gauge as well. If you guys are, like, I guess nerdy in a way like I am, and you like this kind of stuff, I would definitely recommend buying it. I think for $190, it's not a terrible deal, honestly. So I'm gonna flip the camera around now and actually film myself. So let me know if you guys have an eSID down below in the comments. Do you like it? Leave your feedbacks, that way other people who might potentially want to buy an eSID can kind of get sort of owner's reviews on it. But my overall review is it's pretty dang good. I think it's worth the money. The biggest disappointment though is that it really shortchanges you when it comes to the horsepower and torque readings. That really is disappointing to me. I wish that they would have made that a bit more, not necessarily more accurate, but I wish that it read more accurately. Let me put it that way. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'm gonna focus on driving now, but you know, I'm disappointed I'm gonna have to wash the car again. I'm kind of disappointed. The meet is in 2 days. I am so excited. It's gonna be so fun. We're gonna have a mini cruise on the way there with it. Looks like at least 5 people. I'm sure that number will grow. That's it for today, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.
Check your body.